We're all so excited to be here. Looking at all of you, having a big party in this house, right? We are extremely happy to have all of you here. We're very excited, right? But really, right, this is a very amazing moment in our family. And, not only is this the first wedding amongst, all of us, it's also the culmination of a very, very important turning point for Kalpanafoy. Right? For 15 years, it's been a massive struggle. She's, trying to dwarf the persistence of Rajafua because he's so frequently praised for his entrepreneurial pursuits. But at this point, she has been the ultimate power user of dating apps. Sujay's photos and bio has been spread across the world, been plastered on mobile apps, on websites, maybe even paper flyers. And right, we've done more than I think anyone really knows. So it's been quite exciting. But right after some time, there's been a lot of emails, a lot of calls, tears, a lot of conversations between countries, and finally Rahul, I, and Nisha were finally able to let her calm down. Right, it's been, we told her, Kalpanafoy, we told you, just let life happen. And you know what happened? It did. So, instead of, on our 2 a.m. calls, Rahul and I would be out in San Francisco, we'd be going to clubs, we'd be going to parties, having a good time. We weren't worried anymore about getting a 2 a.m. call from Kalpanafoy, wondering what's going to happen to Sujay. Right? We are so happy now that it's there, and because of this patience, Kalpanafoy, because of all of that hard work, those tears and all of that, once you decide to be patient, you're rewarded very, very quickly.
Okay, so been told from Mom that a lot of people are interested in hearing how Sujay and Eleni met, and that makes sense because it's a fairly unusual couple, optically speaking. So, just to provide a little bit of context into how this frankly exotic relationship came into being, I just thought I'd tell you the story of how this all started. So, there's a party in San Francisco every year called the Painted Turtle. And, exactly. You'd expect to hear a lot more cheers in a younger crowd, but in San Francisco, Painted Turtle is the absolute pinnacle of social life. It is the one time every single year that people actually dress up in San Francisco. And frankly, it makes for a very good pickup scene. And on this particular night, every single year, Sujay throws one of his, quote, famous Painted Turtle pre-parties. And, he impresses everybody by buying dozens and dozens of pizzas, of which he consumes 50 to 60%. And there's salad, which people like Eleni are allowed to eat. And basically, 1 year, 3 years ago, just a few weeks after my mom had finally let life happen as it was meant to be, we go to Painted Turtle, and we're in this huge ballroom at the Bimbo's 365 Jazz Club. And Sanjeev and I are sitting on one side of the room, just rocking out to this 80s mock music. And on the other side, we see Sujay, 10 to 12 champagne flutes of liquid courage deep, chatting up this beautiful, tall, blonde woman. And we're like, what in the hell is happening right now? This is amazing. And what was most amazing about it was that she seemed to be having a good time. She was nodding her head, mimicking his body language, things that were taught are very important, laughing at his jokes. And Sanjeev and I are sitting here just absolutely jaw-dropped, trying to figure out what it is exactly that's happening. And then we thought about it for a while, and we concluded two things. One was that her motor skills were severely impaired. But two, more importantly, she must not have been a very good-looking child, because this is not the sort of thing that we would tend to see from a beautiful lady growing up. And so, what we learned over time was that, Eleni, in her own right, is absolutely brilliant. And we're very excited to have her in the family. What a lot of people don't know, her friends know, but a lot of you guys don't know, is that in her specialty, which is fertility medicine, she was the #1 most sought after resident in all of America in her fertility session. In all of America. And not only that, she graduated in the top of her department at Stanford, a school which, by the way, Sujay had as his first choice in high school and actually got rejected from. And then, yeah, by the way, I got into Stanford. That was, But then, by the way, after he got rejected, he went up to the room right up there and actually cried and locked the bathroom. And then my mom, after an hour of thinking, oh, he's a man, he'll take care of it himself, he did not take care of it himself. She actually had to bang on the door until he finally tearfully allowed my mother into the bathroom. And then she finally was able to coax him out of this bathroom and tell him that life was going to move on and being a Princeton Tiger was good enough. And so anyway, so that's the story of how Eleni and Sujay met. We're very, very, very excited. Actually, we met all of Eleni's extended friends and family in Minnesota a couple of weeks ago because Mark and Lynn, Eleni's father and girlfriend, threw an amazing party for us on Lake Minnetonka. Amazing family, amazing friends. A little bit more liquid courage was consumed at that particular event. And we had a great time. So anyways, very excited to have you in the family, Emily. Eleni. Emily was the last one. Sorry. And we're going to do a few speeches where various people provide both funny and loving stories about Eleni and Sujay. And we're going to start with my dad. So here we go.
Hey guys, great to have all of you here. But before I talk, let me kind of have Mark, Eleni's dad, kind of give a little talk about Eleni, and then I'll follow up.
Well, thank you. It's been wonderful here. This is an amazing event, and I can tell that my daughter is surrounded by love, and I'm happy about that. I think we need to give Raj and Kalpana a hand for their wonderful preparation. They worked so hard for a wonderful presentation. So thank you so much. On the way out here, I was reading an article in a philosophy magazine about Aristotle and some of his ideas and how applicable they are in our modern world. And one of his students was Alexander, who later became Alexander the Great. And I told this to Eleni earlier today. Alexander looked at Aristotle and he said, I thank my father for giving me life. And Eleni has thanked me for that, and I'm proud of her. And then Alexander thanked Aristotle for making that life fuller. And I'm so happy for Eleni because she's found a man who loves her, who's a wonderful, wonderful man, as you all know. This is a tribute to the whole family because they're so great, and has made her life fuller, and I hope you make his life fuller. Driving over here last night, Eleni said, "Dad, you're in the grandfather lane because everyone's passing us," and I should have turned to her and said, "Well, that's a hint." So there, I'm laying it out there right now. It's great to be joining in this wonderful family. I've never been to India. We're just totally excited. If I don't know their plans, I didn't even know you were the most sought after resident. So you need to tell me some of this stuff because fathers like to be proud. Nothing wrong with being proud, and it's all exciting. And I asked one of my friends, what happens when these two really bright, astounding, wonderfully good-hearted people get married, and what kind of children do they have? And I'm throwing that out there again. We're looking forward to all of that, and may you live long, flourish, and find your inner happiness. And I'll look forward to being part of it. Thank you.
Okay, so Mark is a very gracious person, as you saw. But I can't be. I'm an ID guy. So, and so, what's wrong with a few stories? So, a few stories, right? So, they say that delayed gratification is actually the key to success. And that's something I read that Sujay was just born. So, when I read something, I always put it to practice. I said, who better to experiment on than your own son? So, I taught him how to, practice delayed gratification. Put a cookie in front of him and don't let him eat it. And then it goes, you just keep on doing it. Believe it or not, it becomes a part of the system, right? So Sujay then essentially practiced it on us. Elsa and I have been waiting with this delayed gratification capability that Sujay has now mastered. So, he's really taught us patience. It's like, and not only patience, he's also taught us how to kind of, there's this Hindu thing, right? There's this thing that I think Ram keeps on talking about. You do the thing, but don't worry about the results of the action and all that stuff. Yeah. So basically, like he did that. So, but as an ID father, all of you have only heard about the home runs that Sujay hit. He's hit quite a few home runs. It's like very well known, the home runs that he's hit. So there's no reason for me to repeat it. But what about the strikes? The more home runs you hit, the more strikes you've actually hit, right? A lot of strikes. So let me give you just 3 strikes that are the ones that really affected, right? Affected Kalpana too. So what is the number one thing that all Indian parents want? That the son becomes the valedictorian. The valedictorian of the school. It starts with that, right? First recognition of leadership quality. That is valedictorian. And guess what? Sujay's best friend, Adam, becomes a valedictorian. Is Adam here? Where is Adam? Adam! So Adam becomes a valedictorian. Okay, 1 strike. No valedictorian, but his friend, chalo. It's okay. So then, the next thing was, next thing? Silicon Valley, we all look at Stanford, all the best entrepreneurs, best venture capitalists, best, go to Stanford. And coming from IIT, we worked so hard and we could get into the best school. IIT Bombay, that's right. So, sorry, Sanjay, not Stanford, Bombay. Bombay is number 1. So, guess what? Oh, sorry. Prabhu didn't get invited. Oh my God.
You did not apply there.
That is the story he told you. Anyway, so Stanford. Our son has to go to Stanford. Stanford if you're from here. And guess what? His best friend took the last spot at Stanford. So Vipin, his best friend, gets into Stanford and he doesn't get into Stanford. Where's Vipin? Thanks Vipin, so for doing that to our son. He took the last spot that was available for Stanford and we were stuck with, Rahul, with Sujay, getting a strike. Okay, so that's strike number 2. So strike number 3 was, as a engineer dad from IT, you know that, job is guaranteed if you're a computer science engineer. So I'd worked from childhood. From the day he was born, I was teaching him math. You won't believe it, I was teaching him math from the day he was born. He was very good at math. But I wanted a generalist also, I made him very good at English also. So he was very good at English, he was very good at math, and So, so he got into the CS department at Princeton. He was doing fine. And then the second year, he called me up one day and says, Dad, I've already dropped out of computer science and the decision is done. You can't do anything to reverse it. You can't call the dean. You can't call anybody, but it's done. So, I said, okay, engineer is also gone. So, neither a doctor nor an engineer. I said, it's strike 3, done. And then he makes us wait, and wait, and wait, for 12 years after he graduated. But he's made it all. Because now we have a daughter-in-law who's a double valedictorian. Valedictorian in her high school and valedictorian at Stanford University. So, solve the problem of valedictorian in the family, solve the problem of Stanford University, and also solve the problem of doctor. Amazing! Come, Maharaj! One shot, and all strikes are gone. So, Suj, your slate is clean. You've done it all. Even your strikes became homers. So, we are delighted. I know you're going to hear better things from Kalpana than what I said. I gave all the strikes, all the bad stories. But Kalpana, you want to say a few things? By the way, except for the lighting, which is very dark here, it was done by me. Everything else that works is done by Kalpana.
Well, after this wonderful speech by Rajan, and me who is a homemaker, and legendary entrepreneur, and I'm not prepared for a speech, I'm just asked to come and talk. So, but you just heard that from the day Sujay was born, he taught him math, he taught him English, he did so much for Sujay. So, I am sure I played a role somewhere. So, and not only for Sujay, I'm sure for Rahul too, but I have to tell you one story. And this is on extent, so please forgive me if I'm going on and on. So, Sujay actually never gave me any trouble. I really have to admit. He was an ideal boy. Never gave me any trouble and stood by me like a rock. And Rahul is one who gave me a lot of trouble, but delighted us like anything. No. Listen. But then came a time, since Sujay graduated, that I was pulling my hair out. I mean, when is this kid going to settle down? Is he going to really settle down or not? And Rahul started to look better and better to me. And I'm like, oh my God! I told Sujay, I said, Sujay, you never gave me any trouble, but now Rahul's caught up. He is amazing. And so, finally, Sujay is catching up. And we are so delighted to have Eleni. And we are so proud to have Eleni in our family. And the Greenwood family, thank you so much for coming over. And where is Seth? Eleni's brother is also here. Hi, Seth. And by the way, Eleni's siblings are all brilliant. Harvard, Princeton, Stanford. So I suppose she was taught math from the time she was born too. So anyway, we as a family would really like to thank you for coming over. I'm sure you all know that we were worried about Sujay. Not really worried, but anxious. And that's so much exaggerated by Sanjeev and Rahul. But by looking at the engagement party we threw, you must feel that we must be over the moon to have Eleni and Sujay get engaged. But we are so very delighted. And I'm very thankful to my husband actually. gave me a budget before the party. Before the party, he said, okay, you have a budget. Okay? And I said, oh my God, I'm supposed to work with this budget? But he didn't cut the budget. He just went on and on. And I had a husband who was always working, and when he was at home, he was not relaxing because he worked so hard, right? And at this party, he has worked so hard that it must have delighted all of you to see all the lighting that has been put up and all the work that has been put up by an entrepreneur, which is amazing. We had tremendous help from all our friends. Especially, I have to mention that we have a Vedanta study group, and we study spirituality, but here we were just planning and enjoying and dancing, and just became an amazing opportunity for everyone to have fun. And not just Chinmaya Mission family, but all of you, I mean every one of you has supported us in some way or the other. And so thank you very much. You've contributed for this day today. And please have a good evening and enjoy. Thank you.
Okay, so the roadmap from here on out is that Seth is going to give a speech. Seth is Emily's brother. And speaking of being trained in math at an early age, actually Eleni in the family is widely known for providing math examinations for her little brothers to take at a very young age. You know, could barely write, crawl, whatever. But she just said, you have to do this math test that I've created for you. And basically, you know, at this point in time, he's actually become a pretty accomplished mathematician in his own right. He was trained at Harvard as a biostatistician. But you would think that a man of that caliber and training and education would be doing things out on his own independently, and yet, until just a few months ago, he was living in his dad's basement voluntarily to save money, which he did not need to save. And so, with no further ado, we'd like Seth to give a speech in which he conveys all of these things to you.
So, not only is it hard to follow up 3 excellent speeches, but, you know, Rahul's first story about Eleni is actually my first story about Eleni. Yeah. I will and do it better. So, you know, we could talk about how awesome Eleni and Sujay are and how excited we are for them to spend the rest of their lives together and give my dad and my grandchildren. But instead, let's talk about where Eleni's intelligence first started. And it was indeed at the age of 5 for me. This is actually the first formative memory I have of Eleni, and I'm hanging out in my room, and she says, Seth, come here, I've got something for you, let's play together. And I walk into her bedroom, and she's got a table set up. At the table, there are 3 stuffed animals and 4 sheets of paper. And on these sheets of paper were literal math exams. And she sits me down and says, go, you're competing against my stuffed animals. I never beat all 3. Somehow I managed to come in second place every time. So thank you for that. Now, the second story, again about math and intelligence I have for Eleni is, it wasn't always easy being a brother to Eleni. I mean, as you've heard, she is incredibly intelligent, and you could probably make the argument that I'm the lowest performing at Greenwood in terms of academics. And so I start my first day of junior year of high school. It's my math class. And our teacher was actually the coach of the United States International Junior Mathematics team. And he goes, Seth Greenwood? He looks at me and, are you Eleni's brother? As I've said many times in the past, yes, I'm Eleni's brother. I know what's coming now. She's the only person in my class who's never missed a point. That kind of sucked. So, so Sujay, these are kind of the standards that Eleni is going to set for you, But let's move on to Sujay. So one of the things I really love about Sujay, and this is from the heart, is we had a phone call one day. I think I was looking for a job, and he was helping me out, giving me some guidance. And he said, "Good luck, brother." And he really meant it, and this was awesome. Now, one of the great things about being a member of the Greenwood family is you get to partake in all of our bar games, our dice games. We really like to play games, and we play them really well. And as you can expect, we all like to win. And Sujay also really likes to win. So there's this game we play called Liar's Dice, and we play this all the time. Heather, Eleni, Dad, Lynn, myself. We get really into it, sometimes too drunk, sometimes too aggressive, but all that matters is you win. And so Sujay has started to play this game with us lately. And he has lost literally every single game he's played.
4 strikes.
And and I know he really hates it because I've never seen his sideburns more gray than after he's done losing to Greenwoods at Liars. So, ultimately, Sujay and Eleni, I will say this. Sujay, thank you for treating me as a brother. You really mean it when you say that, and I'm super, super happy to have you as my brother as well. And Eleni, you're beautiful, you're smart, and there's a whole list of things I could say to add on to that, but they've already all been said. So, thank you both for having a wonderful life and letting me be a part of it too.
This is exciting. We're gonna have a few more things going on. There's some more speeches, right? But let's turn up the volume a little bit. Let's get the adults out here. We have a dance for everybody prepared, and all the adults that are part of the session. Let's go. To the stage. Make your way to the stage, but then stand on the side, because we're going to have the adults dance.
शाखों पे पत्ते गा रहे हैं, पुलों पे भंवरे गा रहे हैं, दीवाने किरणे गा रहे हैं, ये पंछी गा रहे हैं। वो बगिया में दो फूलों की हो रही है गुफ्तगू, जैसा फिल्मों में होता है, हो रहा है हूबहू। आई 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 सुबी डूबी पंपारा, सुबी डूबी परंपा, सुबी डूबी नाचे क्यों पागल stupid man. Subi dubi pampara, subi dubi parampa, subi dubi nache, you pagal stupid man. जमीन पर इतना गिर रहा टिम टूटा तारा इठला के गा रहा मुझे छोड़े जैसा फिल्मों में होता है हो रहा है डूबी 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 पंपा डूबी डूबी परम्पा डूबी 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 नाचे क्यों पागल से बेमा डूबी 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 पंपा डूबी डूबी परम्पा डूबी 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 नाचे क्यों पागल से बेमा
Amazing. Doesn't that make you happy? Makes me happy. All right.
So we're gonna have 2 more speeches and 1 more dance. The speech that will be given next is by Vipin, who is now infamously known as the man who took Sujay's spot at Stanford. But in reality, there were actually many other people who were standing in line behind Vipin before Sujay would have gotten a spot at Stanford. And yeah, here we go. Basically, Vipin is like my older brother. I've known him since I was a little kid. Sujay and him have had many ups and downs together. They were both involved in speech and debate, and very, very, very fixated on qualifying for the national championship in debate in high school. And one very specific thing that you should know as part of this competitive streak, which we've illuminated as part of Sujay's character, is that when they both did not qualify for nationals, Sujay and Vipin stood on the balcony over there and took all their debate trophies and threw them into the forest, where they would not be staring at them.
Piece over there somewhere.
There is a piece over there probably. So anyway, so Vipin has been with us literally in this house since probably the day we moved in. And we're very excited that he came here from much chillier weather, where he has become a very, very, very prominent professor. And anyways, very excited to have him do the talk.
I really can't believe Sujay's letting me talk, because I didn't let him speak at my wedding. First of all, this doesn't count against my wedding speech, because I'm also going to get that as well. It's really great to be here, and a big thanks to Raj Uncle and Kalpanati for having us. This is like my second home. Beautiful home. It is. It's better than my first home. I do get nostalgic coming up this winding road, since I've been coming up this road almost a quarter of a century now, and almost getting a head-on collision every time I come up. So kudos to those who braved it. I don't know how I can follow up on Raj Uncle's speech or dance, because he basically cut into Sujay as hard as anyone could possibly. I'm not sure I can follow up with that. But I know this is the house where we in high school would celebrate and commiserate Sujay about not having a girlfriend. I say, Sujay, we went to an all-boys high school. He's like, no, my math teacher. We're going to leave aside the speech and debate years because we were really cool in high school. Me in my sweatpants. Sujay in his sandals, which he's still wearing. The only thing you need to know about Sujay is that when he puts his mind to something, he achieves it. And that's a quality and characteristic that he inherited from his brother. Honestly, I think it comes from his mother. And it's great that he finally has Stanford in his family because he tried 5 times. What Rajan Uncle and Rahul didn't mention is that not only did Sujay try to get him the first time, he tried to transfer, try to get him into school. Okay, we won't go. But now he can legitimately root for Stanford. And I, for one, am really glad that he was patient. And we both waited for the one woman in our life that made our lives complete. I am actually very sad because I'm being displaced by Eleni in a lot of ways. I don't know who he's going to call to cry to anymore. We used to stay up actually like till midnight. Yeah. Usually Sujay would be crying on the other end of the phone, listening to U2. Hold on, now I'll never forget. With or without you, would be playing in the background while Sujay would be crying about something stupid that happened at an all-boys high school. So, Eleni, all I can say is good luck. I have all the YouTube bootlegs you need. We've got different versions. But we're thrilled to have you in the family. You're getting a great guy. Who'll be a great husband and a great father. And I'm going to save the sentimental stuff for the wedding, if we ever make it to it. No, do we have a wedding date? No. You need to set a wedding date. A wedding date.
Enjoy the moment.
I can assure you, as his brother, and Rahul also his brother, can assure you, you're getting a great husband and a great father, and when he commits to do something, he will do it. And I'll ask you to take care of him and hold him when he needs to do it. Congratulations.
So, if you guys haven't noticed, we've been going very off schedule. We actually had a very planned event, but we're going to have a lot of important people keep speaking. And so excited to introduce my dad, Neeraj Bakshi, to speak a few more words to talk about Sujay and Eleni.
There is a distinct advantage of being a mama. Nobody ignores you at such precious occasions. Now, Suj, we are thrilled. I mean, as you can imagine, the Bakshi family feels absolutely delighted that our Suj, our first as we call it, because among all the 4 kids, Suj is the top. And Suj is the top in terms of a lot of things, not only seniority in terms of age, but nobody heard that. Sujay is our tops, because Sujay has been the first one. I remember the day he was born. I went there the following day. I reached it. This man has been there with me from his very day one. He has been with me through my tough days. As a mama, you expect the mama to be taking care, but our Suj was trotting along with his mom, taking care of his mama. So Suj, no better thing for me, no better thing for your mommy, and Nisha and me, and that Sanjeev, we are all excited. Eleni, welcome to the family.
So now we're going to have some more entertainment. We're going to have Vishali and Nisha perform a dance. They've been practicing this for very long. Just kidding. We're gonna have, and Rujita is also gonna be dancing with them. So you guys come up, and let's go.
All right, so, Nisha and Vishali have been practicing for 3 to 4 hours, and Rujita actually just joined that dance, so we're pretty impressed that she pulled it together so quickly. Yeah, very, very, very good, thank you. And very excited for the wedding dance as well. So just to close this up, we're gonna have Sujay and Eleni come give a talk. They were not informed of this ahead of time to create the dramatic effect that you're witnessing right now. And yeah, very good. Here you go. Break a leg.
We learned that from our parents.
So, this house, every time there was something significant in the family, for me usually positive, for my brother usually negative, we would throw a party. And I remember high school very differently than the way Vipin described it. Or how my dad described it, actually. And I didn't drink back then either. So the thing about my high school graduation was we had a great friend circle. I think that several people are here from that crew. We've all stayed in touch for a long time. And maybe it was at the graduation, or maybe it was at the graduation party here, but I feel like it was probably the first time, I was 17, the first time my mom sat me down and said, "So Suj, have you thought about getting married?" If you're eyeing anybody to marry, at 17, it makes sense that that would be the sort of conversation you would have. It also changes your perspective along the way. I mean, actually, it's crazy that I'm 19 years older than that today, which is sort of tragic. One of the other things I noticed about tonight is that along the way, I knew a lot about the things that my mom and I had in common. A lot of you have mentioned over the years, oh, your mom and you are so similar. But honestly, until I saw my dad dance, I didn't realize what I got from him. That was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. All right, so I'm going to hand it off to Eleni here, but I have to say that we have always been a very close family. We're lucky to have added the Greenwood crew to our family because we all have a lot of fun together. We haven't spent a ton of time, but the weekend in Minnesota, all the other times we spent together have been a blast. And one of the traditions that we have that happens every other weekend, but we like to say we have Sunday dinner together. And it's always fun, it's always laughing, and in the fall it's always football, which Mom hates about that. But the thing about it is that family for us has always been number one. It was drilled in Rahul and me from the day we were born. And family for my parents was, by the time I turned 17, about grandkids. And for me, I felt like there was an interim step, which was you needed to meet someone that you were excited enough about that you would have children with them eventually. And I'm not promising anything, but the thing about it was, some of our friends were reminding us earlier tonight that Eleni and I actually met 4 years ago. And we didn't really stay in much touch for the first couple of years. But basically, ever since we started dating, I knew that we should get married, and she didn't know that for another 6 months. And I'm not sure why. I was like convinced that even though I gained 30 pounds and my hair was going white, that I was really a catch, because my mom kept telling me that every time I saw her. And I don't need anybody else's validation, so I didn't see what she didn't understand about the situation. But I'll tell you one Eleni story that it's kind of along the lines of what we've all been talking about. One day I came across her Stanford transcript, and it was A+, 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 A, A+, 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 A. There were no A minuses. There were probably a 3-to-1 ratio of A pluses to A's. And if anybody saw, I got a C in Hindi in college, to put it in perspective. Right, just so everyone here understands the type of differentiation we have between the two of us. So I'm glad that she never saw my transcript. I lit that sucker on fire. I have a fireplace, and it worked out really well for me. And so I feel very lucky to have met you. I feel like you bring, in many ways, the best of all cultures. And for me, that's always been the part that, when I think very long term, I've always get the most excited about. And we have a lot of fun together. So I'm glad we're all here. We have lots of friends here, lots of folks who have known us, or at least known me since I was very young. But Eleni, it's on to you.
Okay. So this is unrehearsed, unplanned. And for some of you who know me, sometimes I'd rather spend 12 hours operating on a human than calling them on the phone, so this is tough for me. But in any case, a few responses to your speech, it seems, or everyone's speech, it seems. There's been a motif of grandchildren here, and as a fertility specialist and someone who brings life into the world quite frequently, it's also intimidating for me. As was, but it's going to be great, and we're going to have some beautiful caramel kids who are one class short of a minor in computer science and love biology and are great. But when Kalpana Auntie and Rajan Uncle told me that they were excited about throwing a party, I didn't realize that I'd be meeting 300 of their best friends and live streaming the video across the world for all those who couldn't make it today. But I'm thrilled that I get a chance on the microphone. Watching this party evolve and transform has been a lesson to me in the love of a parent for a child, because this is nothing short of miraculous. All the things you guys have done, transforming the house, making everything so beautiful, all because you love someone so much. And again, on the grandparent motif, I'm excited to feel that one day. Meeting Sujay has been so much fun, and falling in love with him has been so much fun. I'm getting a lot of credit for letters on a piece of paper, but Sujay has shown me a world in which traditional boundaries and rules that I've always observed don't necessarily exist, and creativity and brilliance really can transform ideas and change the world. And I've had so much fun being along for the ride with your mindset. I'm grateful today for my family, my emerging family, my beautiful new sisters who will show me how to dance before the actual wedding. It's so beautiful. My new brothers who, even though I think I'm fun, show me that there's a little bit more fun to be had. My old brother, who is a brilliant speaker and could have slaughtered me up here but didn't, and was very gracious for that. My father, who actually is a hero, who was a widow at 39 and raised a 3, 6, and 9-year-old all by himself, was a mom and a dad. And a mom floating in the universe, and a new mom that I get to join a beautiful, strong, brilliant family and a whole new community of people. I thought when we got engaged in Indonesia it was just you and me, but it became very obvious very quickly that we're not just slicing out a little piece of the universe, but we're part of an immediate family and a giant family of people who make life on Earth worth it. So thanks all for coming tonight and giving me a chance to fly on the microphone.
And that's it. There's going to be dancing, there's more alcohol, there's more food. Everybody enjoy themselves. Everybody here, you can have half of everybody over there. And
Watch
watch me, oh, watch me, watch me, oh, watch me, watch me, oh, 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 okay, oh, watch me, watch me, oh, watch me, watch me, oh, watch me, watch me, oh, okay, oh, do the stanky leg, 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 now break your legs, break your legs, tell them break your legs, break your legs, break the knob and break your legs, break your legs, break the knob and break your legs, break your legs, break the knob. Now I be bop, 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 bop. Now I be bop, 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 bop. Now watch me whip, hey, now watch me nay nay. Okay. Now watch me whip, whip, watch me nay nay. Why me do it? Now watch me whip, kill it, watch me nay nay. Okay. Now watch me whip, whip, watch me nay nay. Can you do it? Now watch me, oh, watch me, watch me, oh, watch me, watch me, oh, watch me, watch me, oh, okay, oh, okay, oh, watch me, watch me. so soon. When I met you in the summer. Take home to mother, and I might never be the one who brings you flowers, but I can be the one tonight. When I first saw you from across the room, I could tell that you were curious. Oh yeah, girl, I hope you're sure what you're looking for. 'Cause I'm not good at making promises. But if you like causing trouble up in hotel rooms, if you like having secret little rendezvous, if you like to do the things you know we shouldn't do, then baby I'm perfect for you. And if you like, then I drive it with the windows down. If you like going places we can't even pronounce, if you like to do whatever you've been dreaming about, baby you're perfect, so let's start right now. 'Cause I feel right down to the border with the rolling stone. Just wanna be free. Now I'm ready to describe it. A little moment slightly changing my views. This is a far cry from what I know. 'Cause all I know, I wanted to be with you. तुझे मुझसे मिलाया है, तुझ पे मर के ही तो मुझे जीना आया है। और तेरे संग यारा कुछ रंग बहारा, तू रात दीवानी मैं जर्द सितारा। और तेरे संग यारा कुछ रंग बहारा, मैं तेरा हो जाऊं जो तू कर दे इशारा।
So that was amazing having the cake, but there's going to be cake served at everybody's table. So if you want some cake, it'll be served around in just a few moments.
वो खड़दा जब नेड़े भी इदां तू गेड़े पाओ का तो नहीं डेस्परेट सानू दसदे की है रेट तेरा ड्रेस तेरा कड़ी जो पाई गैस तेरा चारों पासे देख लगी चाचा हॉटनेस तेरी दा दी लगदी शर्म सच्ची मता हो गया फैन मचदी है तो साम कुड़ी तेरी गवर्नमेंट ने कर देना बैन तेरी गाय सलाए बुलेला मैं तेरा मजनू बन मेरी लैला तेरी लैला ओ मेरी लैला खर्चा पहला साता लैला लगता है